So your slides do not show this. And I'm looking for my ocean in your book. Okay. Yes, on page 74. So again, you can read 74. It's in the nice green box. So what is your personality? Well, openness is the first one. The degree to which a person is willing to consider new ideas and take an interest in culture. So we can have a high openness, and we can have, which is more imaginative, more creative, and seeking new experiences than those of low openness. So again, we don't have to say we're one or the other. We may be high openness in one particular area and low in others. But we want to identify pretty much our personality traits. Are you more open? Then you are less open. And usually if you're in college, you are more open. You're in college to learn new ideas and be involved in new interests. Conscientiousness, to the degree which a person organized and persistent in pursuing goals. You can have high conscientiousness, so you're methodical, self-disciplined, well-organized, and those have less conscientiousness, are less careful, less focused, and more distracted. So again, this could be your overall personality trait. So as an educator, I am extremely organized. So wherever I go, whatever I do, I'm going to be a planner if allowed. So, you know, there are situations in the world where that might not help us. Extroversion, and obviously it's not here, but the opposite would be introversion. The degree to which a person is interested in regularly interacting with others and actively seeks out interpersonal encounters. So you're really primarily always looking to be stimulated by other people. And that would be a high extroversion. And a low extroversion or introversion is more quiet and reserved and doesn't need as much time being stimulated by other people. So for example, I'm a teacher, but I'm not an extroverted person. I'm introverted because I speak for 1 hour, I have to regroup for 3. So I need to go to a quiet place and maybe reading, that's my strength. Yeah, so one is a job requirement for responsibility, and my overall personality is I don't need to be stimulated all the time by going to parties, having FOMO. I don't, that's not me. Agreeableness, the degree to which a person is trusting, friendly, unselfish, and cooperative. And people who are less or less aggressive, less suspicious, and less cooperative, also known as friendliness. Oh, I'm sorry, I reversed that. So if you're low, you're less agreeable, you're more aggressive. So if you have a high agreeableness, you are more friendly, less selfish. I know it's kind of, so are you more agreeable? Just take a little situation. You want to have lunch and your friend wants Chinese, you want pizza. Do you say, okay, Chinese is fine? Or do you say, no, gotta have pizza? Neuroticism, the degree to which a person experiences negative thoughts about themselves. People with high neuroticism are prone to insecurity, emotional distress. People low neuroticism are relaxed, less emotional, not easily upset. And again, maybe you are more aware of yourself when you are passionate about something, to have a little bit more of a neuroticism nature. So again, this may be something that is not apparent all of the time, but it's something to think about. Self-enhancement bias, tendency to perceive your own unique traits more favorably than unique traits possessed by others. Sorry, but we do this. I read a lot, right? So I do, when meeting new people, want to understand, what they read, what they like. And if they don't read, I'm going to say, that's not a personality trait I favor. So I always think reading is better. But I know who I am. And I know that if I wanted to get to know this person, if I'm working with this person, I have to know that I have a self-enhancement bias. And then I realize it and we find another area, maybe listening. Maybe the person doesn't read, but listens to audiobooks. Here is something else, implicit personality theories. I will be also putting up some videos or TED Talks. In your Blackboard, you will see that, during the week, I put them up to help you understand the information in the book because they use more examples. So the implicit personality theory, beliefs about different personality types and the ways in which our personality traits cluster together. So you could take a psychology class and they have many personality traits. And we usually have a combination of personality traits. So on the bottom of page 73 and the top of page 75, they talk about generalizing from the traits we know. So again, if I know I have a trait of openness, you want to know you want to identify which, how that affects your communication with other people, and so on and so forth. Interpersonal impressions. Mental pictures of who people are and how we feel about them. And sometimes they're wrong. I don't know if you have, but sometimes you may have worked with somebody in the first day of work. You see this person, like, oh, I'm never going to get along with this person. And then later on, you see that their personality has some similarity with your traits. Or they complement each other, and the cluster is good. So we may have incorrect interpersonal impressions, as well as we may have correct impressions of others. And when I met my husband, he was in a room, we were at a breakfast. It was like a gathering, a church gathering, and I didn't know this person. But my first impression was he was very confident because he was eating breakfast alone. Yeah. So, and I wasn't wrong. Yeah, you don't need a red sports car. Okay, Gestalt. Love it, obviously. Gestalt is the name of the philosopher and psychologist that came up with this. It's your core, that gut feeling, general impressions of people, either positive or negative. And again, sometimes they could be right and sometimes they could be wrong. Positivity bias, tendency for gestalts to be positive when first formed, and negativity effect, tendency to emphasize negative information we learn. So even if you're meeting someone and you're learning about the similarities, and like, yeah, I know, just something, there's just something I don't like. And so even the more positive I hear, your gut's saying negative. And now we have labels for things, and it's kind of good, when you're going to work, somebody new comes to work that day. You could test out and see if you know what these terms mean. So we will have a little video again.